Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will present you the 13 best places to visit in Croatia. Croatia's Adriatic coast is hard to resist. Over 1,000 miles of meandering coastline, running alongside a glittering blue-green sea. But there are many more regions of Croatia to explore away from the coast, where natural wonders sit alongside beautiful historic towns and UNESCO World Heritage Sites. There's also a chance to see where both the Venetian and Habsburg empires made their mark over the centuries, both in the architecture and the gorgeous cuisine. Here's our pick of the best places to visit in Croatia. 1. Zagreb. There's no bad time to visit Croatia's largest city. It's picturesque and Christmas market in the winter, and has sunny springs, mild autumns, and not too stifling summer months. In warmer months, its horseshoe of 9 parks often has food stands and music stages, as well as cooling shade and leaping fountains. But the best bit, the lack of crowds. There's room for all along the gossipy strip of alfresco bars on Calcasiva Alika. You won't need more than a few days to do the basics. A wander through its medieval twin old towns, Capital and Adriatic, a spin around the fairy tale cathedral and one of its many museums. Try the Conceptual Museum of Broken Relationships, the Zagreb City Museum, or the National Museum of Modern Art. Visiting the morning Dolak food and flower market, and drinking lots of beers. The Art Hotel Zagreb is a sleek hotel just a few minutes walk from the main square. Check out its spa with an indoor pool and sauna, as well as the rooftop bar. 2. Karpatski Rit Nature Park. Best for wetland wonders. Up in northeastern Croatia, near the Serbian border, it's a vastly different world from the resorts of the Adriatic. In the Karpatski Rit Nature Park, where the Danube and Drava rivers meet, you're surrounded by the luxuriant marshland and waterways that make up one of Europe's largest wetlands. The whole nature reserve teems with an astonishing amount of wildlife and several hundred species of birds, best enjoyed from one of the boat tours that glide lazily through the serene landscape. We recommend you to stay at the boutique Hotel Telverda, in the heart of a Sigex historic old town where there's a rooftop pool and hot tub. 3. Dubrovnik. Best for historic sites. Forget the received wisdom that you should tour the 16th century city walls at 9 a.m. That's when the big groups arrive at this corner of the Dalmatian coast to curl around the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Instead, start the day in Dubrovnik, gently, amble along residential streets on the city's south side, washings strung like bunting, cats in sunny corners, or see art and a dreamy cloister perfumed by orange trees in the Franciscan monastery. Then it's time for a drink and swim at Boozer Bar, tiered over cliffs outside the walls that inspired Game of Thrones. Go up the stairs at Gundulic Square, then follow signs reading cold drinks and the most beautiful view. They omit high prices, but that view of shimmering sea and creamy stone is worth it. By 5 p.m., temperatures and crowds ease, so walk the ramparts in the soft light of late afternoon. Minseta Tower is the high point for views, and from here it's easy to see why Croatia's nicknamed the Pearl of the Adriatic. Not high enough? Ride a cable car 400 meters, 1,312 feet, up Mount SRD, to watch Dubrovnik's terracotta roofscape ripen in the sunset. Buy tickets online to beat queue. Hotel Excelsior gives you heavenly views of the old town and is only a 10-minute walk away. Along with an extensive spa with an indoor pool, there's a bathing platform with views of Lokrum Island. For Plitvice Lakes National Park. Croatia is home to 8 national parks across topography as diverse as Italy's, which renders the Adriatic a mecca for activities as varied as skiing, diving, and interland swimming. Head to Plitvice Lakes National Park for waterfalls that cascade through 16 lakes and bucolic countryside, creating a home for wolves, eagles, wildcats, and deer, as well as hikers and bikers. Electric boats chug across the main Kosjak Lake, leading to more trails past waterfalls and lakes of the most extraordinary shade of turquoise. Just a few minutes walk from the park entrance, Hotel Jezero is one of only 3 hotels within the boundaries of the national park. There's a large indoor whirlpool for post-walk soaks. 5. Zagreb. Croatia's oldest city is an enchanting mishmash of history, most of it handily located within the old town, which sits on its own peninsula. In just one square you'll find ruins of an ancient Roman forum, the 9th century St. Donatus Church, the Romanesque St. Anastasia Cathedral, and an 11th century Benedictine monastery. Then walk out onto the waterfront for 2 very modern art installations, the haunting sounds of the underwater sea organ, and the brilliant blue solar panels of the Greeting to the Sun. Don't miss Zada's daily food market, which includes an excellent fish market, before heading to one of the along the river or in the midst of 13th century Narodni Trg People's Square. Hotel Bastion is a luxurious bolt hole in the old town that's handy for all the sights and the waterfronts, yet is quietly tucked away. 6. Split. The smallest of Croatia's big three tourist hubs. Split is living history. Much of the city center is built around the remains of Roman ruins and the Emperor Diocletian's palace, and you can still see crumbling walls jumbled in with chic shops and Venetian-style squares. The main gateway to the nearby islands of Brac, Hvr and Visi Split is popular, especially during the day, when cruise ships pull in and passengers from early flights try to kill time before hopping on afternoon ferries. Things calm down at around 4 p.m., so stay the night to soak up the magic of the cobblestone streets from wine bars and traditional konobar kitchens. Book a seaview room at the Scandi-like Brig Boutique Hotel and you'll have Bakvice Beach on your doorstep. 7. Istra. Pula is the gateway city to northern Croatia's heart-shaped peninsula. Late spring is a glorious time to visit this rural region, with weather warm enough to plunge into the clear waters of its secluded beaches, and outdoor tours of farms and wineries. The food is fantastic, too, and lovely hotels are opening up in its Tuscany-esque hills. For sheer romance, it's hard to beat the town of Revenge, which nearly outdoes Venice for exquisite architecture. Bask in views of the Adriatic from the luxurious Grand Hotel Brioni Pula, which has enormous sun-trapped terraces, indoor and outdoor pools, and a rocky beach right in front. 8. Omis. It's hard to find a coastal town with a more dramatic setting than Omis. As the river Cetina flows into the Adriatic, it comes rushing through gorges and canyons and divides the town in two. Get your adrenaline fix at the top of gorges by whizzing across the canyon on a zip line. That's if you haven't had your fill of thrills from rock climbing and clinging on for dear life on the Via Ferrata. Hike to the top of Mirabella Fortress, a pretty steep climb, and take in some extraordinary views. Prefer your adventures on the water. Hire a kayak or canoe and row your way into this glorious landscape. Take in dramatic views of the Cetina Canyon. From one of the stylish rooms at Hotel Villa d'Or, perched on a rocky bluff above the town. 9. Biokovo Nature Park. Looming over the Makarska Riviera, Biokovo Nature Park is one of the most compelling parts of the Dinaric Alps that run along much of Croatia's coast. The hiking here is superb. Trek across rocky trails that wind their way towards mesmerizing views of the sea, stopping at conveniently located stone huts that offer very welcome cold glasses of beer. Keen hikers will want to make a beeline for 1,762 meters, 5,780 feet, Sveti Jur, Croatia's second highest peak. If you're fine with heights, or want to test yourself, take a walk along the glass-bottomed semicircular Biokovo skywalk and look straight down into an abyss. Step off the cafe terrace of the waterfront Hotel Milanij in Makarska and you'll be right on the beach. 10. Šibenik. While most tourists see Šibenik merely as the jumping-off point for visits to nearby Qak National Park and the Kornati National Park, those in the know will have realized that this historic city is worth a longer visit. Lose yourself in the tangle of Venetian marble lanes flanked by pretty stone houses and the old town's bijou cafe-filled squares. The magnificent 15th century Cathedral of St. James is the only European cathedral to be built entirely of stone, and it's a beauty. Wander along the Riva waterfront where you can watch the world go by from one of the cafe terraces. Follow the alleyways towards the top of the town and you'll reach the trio of forbidding Venetian fortresses. St. John's, which includes an open-air theater for summertime concerts, Barone and St. Michael's, all of which show off sweeping views of the city. The fourth fortress, St. Nicholas, is at the end of a 3-mile hike along St. Anthony's Channel and rewards you with even more stupendous views. Stay in the heart of Šibenik's Old Town in one of the delightfully Rococo rooms in the Heritage Hotel Life Palace and you'll be just a few minutes. Walk from Šibenik's Cathedral, 11 Peljasak Peninsula. This thin finger of land jutting into the Adriatic north of Dubrovnik is crisscrossed with vineyards that produce some of Croatia's finest wines. The robust red Plavac Molly grape goes into full-bodied Dingak and Postup. Follow the wine route signs and you'll come across boutique wineries tempting you inside for a wine tasting and, more often than not, generous platters of Dalmatian meats and cheeses. Once you've had finished your wine tour and perhaps had a dip in some of the lovely pebbly coves on the western side, try Divna Beach, Beleska Beach, or Orabikstown Beach. Stop at the village of Storn and marvel at the 14th century defensive walls that climb up the mountain. If you fancy a hike, walk the walls for about half an hour and you'll reach the Molly Storn village. and some of the best oysters and mussels you'll ever taste, thanks to the oyster beds around the village. Stay at the Amonis Bellevue Hotel right on the seafront at Orebic, and enjoy lazy swims in the outdoor pool facing the sea. 12. Croatia National Park. Arrival for Plitvic's beauty. Croatia National Park follows the course of the river Croatia as it winds through soaring canyons and down thundering waterfalls. Start at Zagreb, where you join a boat trip along the river. It's not long before you reach the spectacular waterfalls of Skredinsky Buk. Hop on and off the ferry, mixing hiking through nature trails and lofty viewpoints with gliding past yet more glorious waterfalls. Villa Banaka in the town of Zagreb, where the boats depart for Croatia National Park, is in a fabulous spot facing the river Croatia. Contemporary rooms come with balconies and river views, and there's an outdoor pool facing the water. 13. Neretva Delta. Croatia's Dalmatian coastline, usually lined with soaring scrubby peaks, takes on a gentler look around the town of Ploče at the Neretva Delta. As the river flows into the sea, it creates a wonderfully calm world of waterways, lakes and marshes. Fans of sandy beaches head straight for Delta Beach at the mouth of the river, where kiteboarders flit across the sands. For a truly relaxing experience, take a boat ride along the river, past countless orchards and roadside fruit stalls. Boutique Rooms. Kikon offers contemporary, spacious rooms by the Neretva River, with a few restaurants within walking distance. So these were 13 of the best places to visit in Croatia. Thank you for watching our video. In order not to miss our new videos, subscribe to our channel. We wish you the best of luck.